Well, hello YouTubers. It's me, Mike. I'm using my tripod for the first time. I wanted to show people out there how some people decide to fill in a hole and one of the several ways to fix it. This hole here was covered with this piece of board. And I wondered why it was covered. And I thought maybe there was some, I don't know. But I took it off and there's a hole. Now, I suppose that this was because they wanted to do some wiring, possibly to put this plug in, which wasn't even done level. And then afterwards, instead of filling the hole properly, and this I just put in, they put this on. Now, the landlord that I have, he claims he's been doing this 20 years, and this is what he did. So, I already knew how to fix this problem. Now, I know it's not my job, and it's not in the lease agreement and all this other crap, but I figure most landlords who, I'm sorry to say, my landlord's a slumlord. There's 3 of them, they own this house, and it's a joke. But, so what I did is I took a piece of plywood. Now, I had to cut it down a bit on both sides because this plywood isn't the same thickness. And I didn't want it to bulge out. I wanted it to be flush with the wall. So I did that with a chisel, measured properly, and it actually fits just perfect. So I will be using white glue, a couple tiny little screws to hold it in place, and then fill in the holes with this 15-minute speed dry. So use some white wood glue just to make sure that it's going to be secure. And I fit this piece in here. Pretty good. And I'd rather make it flush at the bottom or the top instead of having 2 sides to fill in just one. Use my DeWalt drill and just put a couple tiny little screws, and I pre-drilled the holes first so that it wouldn't split the wood. I look at some of the things people have done to fix things in the past, and it's pretty sad that people don't have more basic knowledge. There. That's pretty solid. Yeah, that's actually, I mean, it's a little bit in there. And then I take this stuff this isn't my job, but if I can practice doing stuff like this at a home that I live in where the landlord doesn't do it right, and I actually do it better than him, why not? And then after, I've got some white paint. I'm going to paint it, make it look nice. Now, to smooth it out, you can use, if you've got an old credit card, or use a proper knife, It's It's not perfect, but it's pretty good considering what it was before. Now when this stuff dries, it sometimes sinks in there. So I let it dry. Oh yeah, and fill in this part here. Try to make it as good as it was before. Fill in all the little So, you know, I admit it's not great, but I think it looks a hell of a lot better than just sticking some big piece of plywood over top. And then I will do a little sandpaper, and then I'll paint it. Also got to fill this piece in too. And somebody like me who has done bushcraft, built stuff out in the trees, I guess it would be expected that I would have knowledge to do stuff like this too. I've helped landlords over the years fix damage to doors, holes in drywall, and made things look considerably better. I've lived in places that were pretty bad. So anyway, that's, I should probably do a little bit more there. So anyway, that's how it looks now. And then after it dries, I'll wipe it down, and I'll use that paint that I've got, and I'll just take this shelf down and paint the whole wall, because it'll make it look a lot better. And I doubt the landlord will even notice. He's quite old, and the other two that own this place, they're old, and I could do a better job with running this place than they could. But I've also fixed other things in this place. I replaced the fan motor in the bathroom in the suite here that I used to live in. Now I live in the bigger one. I replaced a shelf under the kitchen sink that had been water damaged from a leak probably from the taps. And actually helped get the washer and dryer fixed and leveled so they're not shaking and making a huge noise. So anyway, let's see, that's what that looks like now. So anyway, I will make a part 2 after I've painted the wall and show people what it looks like then. This is just a tip of how to fix a hole that somebody had no idea how to fix or took the time or the care to do it properly. So